Alrighty then. We're going to slow this group down a little bit and bring you some me. Because, I have the wrong... Hang on a second. Let me fix something real quick. I forgot. Anyway, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the show. I'm just damming with this group. I like this. Woo! And there's my face. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Funky Friday on the Morning Night Live. Yes, Attack Alpaca. I knew you couldn't hear the other video because that was on purpose because it's Funky Friday. I just want to hear the funk on Friday. And besides, some of the stuff in that video, well, they're a little out of date. So I said, let's just play some music. You can see those pretty faces whenever you want to. So anyway, I'm hoping y'all are having a good morning. Well, that music's a little loud, isn't it? Today I am, well, let's just say, I was going to say I was ill-prepared, but no, I'm not ill-prepared. I'm here, but I'm late. So I figured I'm going to let you guys control what we talk about a little bit. If you have anything that specifically you want to talk about, I may or may not know about it, or if you want to drop an article in the chat, I'll figure out how to get it out of there. Because I really don't have a whole lot of stuff today. I was going to go through the news and do some random stuff and then get out of here. I'm trying to, I don't know, just try to do something different for a change and let you have a little more control. And I'm going to spend more time talking to the chat, too. Now, I did hear Susan Wiki Jiggy Waka Jiggy is stepping down. That's interesting. There's some new information on the Stupid 19. That's interesting. There's probably all kinds of stuff in the Twitter. Let's see what's in the Twitter. Oh my goodness, what the hell is that? Good thing I didn't have that on the screen open. Whatever that means. But anyway, I'm not gonna show that. So we'll figure it out. We'll just play it by ear. We'll have a good time. We'll chill. Happy Funky Friday on the Morning Night Live. Johnny, please play the intro.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way, but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, the one and only Dawg Knight.
Oh, yeah. Hello. Good morning. And welcome to the Morning Night Live. I'm your host, Marty, also known as Dawg Knight on the internet. And welcome to the Dawg Knight Channel on this 17th day of February, 2022. We're 1 month away from a special holiday in the Dawg Knight family, at least my extended family on my mother's side. St. Patrick's Day is coming up. And as a programming note, on St. Patrick's Day, I've actually been invited to go on someone else's show. Someone called Jessica Reloaded. It's a small channel like mine. We're small channels. I don't care. And I'm looking forward to it. Now it's interesting. I don't know why this woman's channel is so small. She's got a lot of attention. Her channel got blasted by the powers that be at YouTube, and she got it back thanks to some help from none other than our friend Nick Ricada. And so I thought for sure, and she has actually interesting shows. I watched a couple of her shows. She's had our guest Cool Frog on a couple times and whatever, and also she was instrumental in getting Cool Frog back, and that was cool. So I'm looking forward to going on her show. But I don't know why. I haven't figured out why her channel's so small, because she's, pretty interesting and she's had some good guests on there. So we'll see what happens. But anyway, that's a month from now, March 17th. And also, if you want to know what's going on in the future, you can always check the locals. Whenever it goes somewhere on someone else's channel, I'll put it on either Twitter and or locals. So make sure you follow me on those two platforms. I'm also on, I'm on Minds, Gab, Cloud Hub, Parler, Getter, all those, but I don't post on those much anymore. They're just interesting to have a place marker just in case, the YouTube thing doesn't work, or not the YouTube, the Twitter thing doesn't work out. But those are all, they're all, well, mine's, I guess not so much, but the other four are very, I would say, specialized. Is that a word? Is that a way? But they're all seemingly, they're differently focused. Like Twitter at least has a wide variety of people on it, and Locals is my own gig. So those are the two places where I hope that you follow me, Twitter and Locals. And if you want to support the channel in a greater way or a monthly way, Locals is where you want to do it. Instead of doing Patreon or what's the other one? There's what's that other one called? There's Patreon, there is Subscribestar, but I prefer Locals, so we'll do that. Anyway, like I said, I don't have much prepared for the show today. I do have the one article that I have that I really wanted to focus on. That, well, you can see it up here. It's in up there, that article in the thumbnail. We'll talk about that. But other than that, and that could get me in trouble. Who knows? That might get me a suspension just even talking about it. But it is from a reputable source, NBC News. So we'll see what happens. If I get yeeted for that for a week, we'll see. Because I don't think it's because they'll say something like, oh, you're talking about stupid 19 misinformation. It's not misinformation. It's in a reputable source. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Anyway, first though, let's say good morning to y'all, because that's what I do. First, over on Rumble. First in chat is our friend Avocados Diablo, who is, really good at being first. He's paying attention. That's awesome. I appreciate it. Simon Wolfwood's over there too. And that's it. There's the set. Now, let's see. Let me look at this. Oh, see, it didn't even tell me how many people are watching Rumbles. There might not be, it might be just those three. That might be, it doesn't show me anymore. It'll show me eventually how many people are watching over there. Right now, it doesn't even give you a number because there's only 3 people, and I'm one of them, so that doesn't count. It doesn't count that I'm watching my own crap on Rumble, right? But I'm up to 227 followers over there. That's pretty cool. I appreciate that. And in fact, I strongly recommend that you do follow me on Rumble, okay? Because if I do get that 7 days from YouTube for talking about something today that they don't like me talking about, then you'll be able to find me on Rumble and Odyssey. I will stream on both of those platforms if I'm not here. So, but also I would love to get to 1,000. I would love to get to 1,000 on Rumble. That'd be cool. If I can get up to 1,000 followers on there. Now I'm just over 1,700 here on YouTube too. Well, we're both on Rumble and YouTube, and I'd like to grow that too. I still the project 10,000, 1,000. is still a thing for me. I still want to try to get 10,000 people on YouTube following me and 1,000 on Rumble. And the reason I say that is because engagement on Rumble is usually a little higher than YouTube. But anyway, I hope you I hope you all are able to help me with that. Also, remember, every day is Invite a Friend Day. If you have a friend, if someone you invited shows up, I'd like them to let me know that you're the one who invited them. I'd appreciate that. So let's stay on let's see. Speaking, but I digress. Let's go back to YouTube. Speaking of YouTube, over on YouTube, first in the chat again, Mr. Avocados Diablo gets the bell. Thank you, sir. Also, good morning, Dr. Funkenstein. This is your kind of day. In fact, let's make this a Dr. Funkenstein day. Oh, is this funky? I don't know what this is. This is supposed to be. It's on the Funk channel. Okay. It's kind of mysterious, kind of interesting. Let's run with it. We'll do it. It'll work. I'm assuming you can hear that. Also, good morning to Rotten Corpse, Simon Wolfwood, Somnambule Nation, HP Lovecraft, good morning. Nomads in the house.
Stop. Hammer time.
Good morning, Rockhopper, friend from down under. Good morning, sir. Also, good morning to Aaron Merritt's in the house. I said attack a pack, I think, already. If I didn't, hello. Oh, I talked to you earlier. Yes, I did, and I was aware we could not hear the sound from the video. That's true. Also, good morning to... Well, I have to scroll a little bit. Trippy Liberty's in the house. Nice to see you, sir. Special Camp Acid. Also, This is kind of light today. Where is everybody? Rick Ashbringer's in the house. I see you. Lord Stanhope. Hello. Maybe it's just because I haven't scrolled down far enough. I don't know. Sydney, how you doing, Sydney? Nice to see you. Hi to you. And, okay, well, that's it. Maybe it's because it's Friday. Maybe something else is going on. Who knows? But I'm glad that those of you who are here. I would love to get this up to where we average about 60 to 100 viewers every show, which we average about 35 to 40. I want to get that up. So if y'all can help me with that, I'd appreciate it. I'm sure somebody would like what I do. Anyway, all right, let's cut the music and get into some news. But I will be doing funky music during the anyone who does super chats. I'll throw some more funk up there. By the way, you are the sponsors of the show. Hit the like button, share the stream. If you're watching a replay, put a comment in the comment section. Tell me what you think about something. Cool Frog's in the house. Rabbit's in the house. Jay Pylon's in the house. Nice to see all of you. Cool Frog, by the way, you know Jessica Unloaded. I'm going on her show on March 17th. You know her well. I think you've been on her show. She was one of the people who helped you get back when YouTube was messing with you. By the way, if I had a beer, I'd pour one out to Susan Wojcicki, whatever her name is, the CEO of YouTube. She's stepping down. I will miss her greatly. Yeah. Anyway, good morning, Woodcutter. Good morning, Reacciona, Puerto Rico. You lovely island of tropical breezes. If you don't know, that's from West Side Story, one of my favorite musicals of all time. Anyway, I like to be in America. Okay, let's get into the news. Now, I don't have news today. Wait a minute. Check my messages here. I got a message from Sydney. Sydney says hi. That's in my DMs. I'm gonna just say hi back real quick because Sydney's my buddy. One of these days, I'll do another open mic show, and we'll invite Sydney on. She's a lovely young lady. We appreciate her, and she's been a supporter of the channel for about 4 years now, or 3 years, something like that. Anyway, let's see. Oh my God, these people are still arguing in my chat about abortion. Holy crap! Oh my God! Oh my God! What are you people doing? So, okay. Let me. 7 days ago, I replied to a tweet by Jeff Tiedrich. Now, if you don't know who Jeff Tiedrich is, he's one of these paid Democratic propagandist tweeters. And he loves to swear, and he just thinks it's cool, and it's he's one of these people who kind of come off as, well, he's a masculine liberal, so that's, they definitely love them some masculine liberals. What is my daughter tweeting? Oh, that's not, wait, what? Hey family, what are your plans this weekend? Just got booked flights to come back to Minnesota. Oh, good God. Next weekend, we're going to be in San Diego. Why must my son text this? Okay. Well, we're going to be in San Diego for our 30th wedding anniversary. By the way, Lady Boomer and I are celebrating our 30th wedding anniversary next week. All right, let me go back to this, what I was talking about, and I'll get into that later. So anyway, this Jeff, I replied to one of his tweets, right? Just because he's a jackass, and sometimes you have to reply to the jackass. But I didn't expect that it would cause, there's like 3 or 4 people. Okay, what his tweet was, he said, what kind of shithole governor brags about banning Black history, especially during Black History Month, for fuck's sake? I said, none, because not a single governor in his country has banned Black history. But these are the lies they pay you to tell. That's my reply to Jeff, the dickhead Tiedrich. And then someone said, clearly you don't keep up with the times. Check out Florida for it. Well, Florida didn't not only did Florida not ban Black history, but the governor of Florida did he, in 2020, signed a bill that required that Black history be taught in schools. Now, what they did do is they objected to a AP history course, an AP African American Studies course, right? Because the course had a couple sections in it that were just literally just one-sided political ideology teaching. One regarding reparations that had no countervailing arguments, and one, what was the other one? One was on like queer theory. Look, now remember, this is an African American Studies course, which, I mean, look, I laugh because there are people who major in African American Studies, and I don't know why. I mean, I can see it as, if you're interested in certain African American issues, you could take those classes, but why would you get a major in African American Studies? Because there's really, unless you're going to go work at the Museum of African American History, if you're going to work as a professor of African American Studies, why would you major in African American Studies? But anyway, this AP course in African American Studies had queer theory and CRT and whatever stuff that Florida has said in their legislature through the democratic process that they do not want necessarily being taught in their schools unless there's countervailing, no agenda driven, no political driven courses, basically. And so they said they rejected, and then the College Board said they're going to revise the course, blah, 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 blah. So I also said, really, did they ban Black history, or did they create a statewide required Black history curriculum, which they did, in which one AP African American Studies course didn't make the cut, which was the only one they cut, until it was revised, which the College Board did. You may not like the curriculum, but Black history has not been banned. That is the fact of the case. Good morning, Tales of Gore. Good morning, I said special candidate. I said, Pat's in the house. What up, Pat? Tales of Gore's in the house. What up, Tales of Gore? Nice to see you guys join us. And Tyler F., I see you too. So anyway, now for some reason, the people replying in this thread. Now this was 7 days. This was on February 8th. So, almost 9 days ago. February 8th, I replied on February 8th. For 9 days, somehow the conversation got sidetracked to an abortion. And there's 3 people in my Twitter feed on this particular subject. Now, I was going to mute it, but I am interested in the arguments they're making, and some are dumb and some are good and whatever. But for 9 days, these people have been arguing abortion in my Twitter feed. The same 3 people, although now some other idiots jumped into it. And I'm just like, God, let it go. And now some other dudes jumped in telling me, DeSantis is othering groups he perceives as vulnerable as a means of creating a smokescreen, covering up the fact that he has no ideas, no platform, no direction, no guidance. He will get to the poor white males eventually. Well, I don't care, because I'm not a poor white male living in Florida, 1. And 2, Florida is the state that's still working, right? Florida is the one state, is the bright spot in the United States. So I'm thinking the fact that DeSantis had some different ideas than the sheep that went along with the White House, that, and also the fact that people are moving to Florida, despite the fact that this is a state that's known for getting hurricanes running across its, landmass, that Florida's doing okay. Okay, Florida's the one state our people are moving to, not from, unlike New York and California. So I don't care what you think of DeSantis. Obviously, something's going right there. And the people bitch about DeSantis. You notice that DeSantis doesn't decree things. He has an idea, he gets them passed through the legislature, which, of course, is something that a lot of those dumbasses talk about all the time, because you are a threat to democracy. Well, you know what? Guess what DeSantis does? He actually uses the democracy, or the process of democracy, to get things passed in Florida. So, if you hate Ron DeSantis and what he's doing in Florida, then you must hate democracy. Uh-oh. So, whatever. I don't care anyway, but I find it funny that these people are still in my Twitter feed just going nonstop. By the way, I have a question. For all of you in my YouTube channel and Rumble channel who happen to be watching this right now. I put out a challenge. Oh, what day was it? Let's see. Was it a week ago? Roughly a week ago? I put it in writing on February 10th, but I had a challenge, and this is part of the challenge here. Let me put it on the screen so you can see what the hell I'm talking about. Let's see, there's that. Let's go full screen, though, and put it up on the screen. I had a challenge for you guys. I called it the Banner Challenge. Now, on Twitter, I put up a new banner. I'll put it up on YouTube, too, so that you can see it more often. This is the new page banner on my channel, on Twitter, and it will be up on the channel. And the challenge is new banner challenge. Who will be the first to list every character on this banner? This was my daughter made my 1000th episode, happy 1000th episode cup, and this was the artwork she did for it, and I thought it was so great that I put it on my Twitter heading. Okay, so the challenge of this, I said it, was it a week ago? I think so. I said the first person who can name every person on my banner will get $20. I'll just Venmo you $20, okay, or Venmo or Cash App or however you like to do it. I'll send it to you. I have no winners yet. So I just want to make sure that you know that this banner challenge is in effect. If you're not on Twitter, you can still see my banner on Twitter. I will I'll link it in the description today again. But yes, now obviously this one, can you see my cursor moving around? I can't even tell if you can see it. Doesn't look like you can. Anyway. Well, here, let's see. I can't, maybe I made this a little bigger. I can't tell. See my cursor moving around? Nope. Can't see my cursor. Well, that's okay. So obviously the guy in the middle, I think that's me. But anyway, this is artwork that my daughter did, who on Twitter, she goes by, Shokadora. I don't know how she says that. I should probably ask her. Anyway, Allie did this. Allie P did this. So anyway, still the challenge is still there. And some of them are pretty easy. Some are more challenging, but if you can figure it out, the guy all the way on the right is Frank. Left to right, Bob 1 through 12. No, they're not Bob's. And I don't know what Archer-esque. I can name them. Doesn't have to be their actual names though. No, it has to be who are they depictions of. These are real people in the real world. Some of them are pretty obvious. Some are a little more difficult. I will give you a hint though. This one right here, the one 1, 2, 3, 4, well, his shoulder. The guy seated. As you're looking at the picture, the second guy to the left, seated. That is Judas, played by. I'm not going to tell you. You have to figure it out yourself. Anyway, but I found it funny. She said, yeah, this one is Judas. All I can tell is far left looks like Nick. Well, that is, we are, in fact, I think I've already said that. Yes, that is Nick Rekieta. So they are people that you would know from the internet. Maybe some have been guests on my show. Somebody have not. Yes, I did already tell you who Judas was. It is Dr. Anthony Fauci. So anyway, that challenge is still in effect. So, all right, cool. All right. Now, the only news that I actually pulled up today was something I saw on the internet, of course, because all my news comes from the internet, is this one. This is an article from a trusted news source, according to YouTube, Twitter, all the big name, big head, dickheads who are likely to say, oh, you did something bad by saying something wrong and using the wrong misinformation and disinformation and whatever. But this is an article in NBC News. NBC News, who have now are featuring a study on acquired immunity. So, immunity acquired from stupid 19 is as protective as the Fauci juice against severe illness and death, study finds. Gee, are they just finding this out? Or did they know this? Did they know this beforehand? the immunity generated from an infection found to be at least as high, if not higher, than that provided by 2 doses of the mRNA Fauci juice. Shocker. Oh my goodness. Oh, why is this so small? Hang on a second. Don't say it. Don't tell that joke. Wait, let's go. Why isn't that working? Oh, that's because I'm on the wrong side. Here, let's try this. All right. There we go. So the article says, immunity acquired from the stupid 19 infection provides strong, lasting protection against the most severe outcomes of the illness. According to research published Thursday in The Lancet, protection experts say, that's on par with what's provided through 2 doses of the mRNA vaccine. Well, that's amazing. That's amazing because remember, I acquired the stupid 19 in December of 2020, prior to the availability of Fauci juice. And, so not effective then. Well, that's, I see what you did there, Somnambule Nation. Good morning, Cannon Hotep. I see you, brother. Why isn't that working? Oh, there it is. This is really good news in the sense that protection against severe disease and death after infection is really quite sustained at 10 months. The senior study author, Dr. Christopher Murray, the director of the Institute of Health Metrics and Evaluation at the University of Washington. The findings may be a silver lining to the explosive Omicron outbreak of last winter. With so many people infected, many most likely still benefit from that protection against severe disease, Murray said. Still, experts stress that vaccination is the preferable route to immunity, given the risks of stupid 19, particularly in unvaccinated people. Well, I've had the stupid 19 twice, and, well, I've survived twice, and I'm good because, see, well, we'll talk about, I'm not going to talk about it, but look up B cell antibody production. The problem is saying I'm going to get infected to get immunity is you might be one of the people that end up in the hospital or dies. Murray said, why would you take that risk when you can get immunity through the Fauci juice quite safely? I get it, especially if you're older and you haven't had it. You might want to, like I said, I've never been against the juice. Just it needs to make sense. And it didn't make sense for me at the time it came out. So I didn't at the time. So anyway, the study was the largest meta-analysis to date to look at immunity following infection. It included 65 studies from 19 countries and compared the risk of developing the stupid again in people who had recovered from infections to people who hadn't been infected through September. People who had hybrid immunity or immunity from both infection and vaccination were excluded. Omicron subvariants that emerged in the late fall and early winter of last year, including BQ1 and the now dominant XBB.1.5, were not included. While protection from severe disease remained high. Protection from severe disease remained high. People could be reinfected, particularly with an Omicron subvariant, consistent with evidence that protection against having symptoms wanes faster than protection against hospitalization and death. Wait, what? With evidence that protection against having symptoms wanes faster than protection against hospitalization and death. Well, how many people had it a second time and then died? I'm curious. Do they have that data? I don't know. Anyway, having stupid 19 before the Omicron variant emerged didn't do much to stop reinfection. With the mutated version, protection from reinfection in that case was 74% after 1 month, but fell to 36% by month 10. Well, that's about the same efficacy as the juice, isn't it? Because it said it protected you for a few months, but then they're already telling you get boosters about 10 months later. That's about the same, I would say. Dr. Wachter, the chairman of the Department of Medicine at the University of California, San Francisco, said he did not expect the protection acquired from infection to be as robust as meta-analysis found. Well, I would say the protection from the juice itself didn't seem to be as robust as the meta-analysis found. Now, he says the protection against severe infection, both the extent and the length of it at almost a year, is really surprisingly high. Well, why is it surprising to you? Doesn't that how most viruses work? Why is that surprising? Shouldn't that have been just like the first thing you thought of when people started getting it, but then you came out with the Fauci juice, and people like me, I had it in December, and they had the Fauci juice come out in January, and then you couldn't get it. Like, I couldn't get it for probably until March of 2021, but still, I just never felt like it was like a big necessary thing, because the nature of these types of diseases, that once you get it, you usually have some kind of natural immunity, but I didn't know. So I just, I was living on a prayer. So anyway, so that's a shocker. Now here's the interesting thing though. So this is from, what's the date of this? This is from yesterday. This article published yesterday by Dr. Akshay Sai, MD, Akshay Sai, published yesterday. And this is a study done in the Lancet probably over the last few months. Again, a study of how many, six, it's included. It's a comprehensive study, meta-analysis, 65 studies from 19 countries. So that's a lot of data they probably had, right? Well, I'm going to go back to, what's this date? December 8th, 2020. Okay. December 8th, 2020. Study of healthcare workers shows stupid 19 immunity lasts many months. This is from the National Institute of Health Director's blog. Dr. Francis Callan. Now, again, what's the date? December 2020. This is a month before they started rolling out the juice. A month before they started rolling out the juice. This article is at the National Institute of Health. This is nationalinstituteofhealth.gov, NIH.gov, an American Institute of Health agency. Dr. Fauci's agency. Study of healthcare workers shows stupid 19 immunity lasts many months. Oh, you mean we knew this in December of 2020? Well, before December 20, because this is posted December 8th. Throughout the stupid 19 pandemic, healthcare workers around the world have shown willingness to put their lives in the line for patients and communities. Unfortunately, many have also contracted SARS-CoV-2, the coronavirus that causes stupid 19, while caring for patients. That makes these frontline heroes helpful in another way to fight against the disease, determining whether people who have recovered from stupid 19 can be reinfected by the virus. New findings from a study of thousands of healthcare workers in England show that those who got stupid 19 and produced antibodies against the virus are highly unlikely to become infected again, at least over several months that the study was conducted. The rare instances in which someone acquired immunity for SARS stupid number 2, whatever, subsequently tested positive for the virus within a 6-month period, they never showed signs of being ill. Wow. This was in, is the NIH.org, is that or .gov, is that England or is that our NIH? So they knew this. They knew this. In December 2020. This is because they did a survey of healthcare workers, study of healthcare workers. Some earlier studies have shown that people who survive stupid 19 infection continue to produce protective antibodies against key parts of the virus for several months, but how long those antibodies last or whether they are enough to protect against reinfection remain open questions. So that's interesting that they knew this in December 2020. And in fact, now it's funny because in March of 2020, they didn't necessarily know. Okay, this is March. This is when it just started breaking out big time around the world. We started, in fact, March 16th was when President Trump and the coronavirus, whatever, super team started making their announcements of how they want 15 days to slow the spread. And this is from NPR, I believe. Wait, Goats and Soda, whatever that means. But it's NPR News. Do you get immunity after recovering from a case of stupid 19? It's unclear whether people who recover from stupid 19 will be immune to reinfection from the coronavirus, and if so, how long that immunity will last. We don't know very much, says Matt Freeman, coronavirus researcher from University of Maryland. So it's just fascinating to me that there's still people out there that don't believe this. Again, 65 studies from 19 countries. Now, do these people not believe the science? Do they not believe in science? They blinded me with science. Do. Huh? Science. It's fascinating. All right, let me check the chat here. Fauci juice never worked. Didn't stop the spread, and in my humble opinion, increased the spread. It was worse than a placebo. I think it never. You're very accurate there. It never stopped the spread. I think it did help. It probably helped older people, right? It probably helped older people in mitigating their symptoms. Maybe helped some not get it, or at least, like I said, so many people probably have had this disease and never knew it, because when they do antibody tests on people, they were finding a lot of people, oh, you had it? Oh, they never knew they had it. Okay. So that's probably why it never helped stopping the spread, because a lot of people had it and never knew they did. And they blinded me with Fauci. They don't believe the Fauci. Fauci is the science. Right. Yes. They blinded me with science. Good morning, Real Wade Nation. Nice to see you dropping in. Welcome. So, yeah, it's... I'm not convinced that this did okay. That they've known for a long time, based on their monitoring healthcare workers, that the reinfection was not super common, that there was some antibodies that produced, especially in younger people. And especially, they've known from the data a long time ago that the youngest of us were not likely to have any severe symptoms. Very unlikely that they spread the disease. Except for the most rare cases in which they had several comorbidities, did very young people die, particularly ages 0 to 17. And yet they started pushing the Fauci juice on them, especially recently. Because, it's easy to scare people because a lot of people died from this. And it's, that's distressing. But they, instead of focusing on the actual data, on who they should help, they had this blanket policy, which was probably written by the people who made the Fauci juices. At least that seems to me that that made them do things that just were not true. They made them come up with just some stupid policies that didn't make sense. They didn't, they didn't do what was right. So, anyway. Oh, shoot. What am I doing today? Well, Sydney, I'm doing my show today. You can see me. I can see you. Well, I can't see you. By the way, it looks like Sydney's playing basketball again this year. All right, let me check. Oh, good God. Still there? Yep, they're still over here arguing. Oh, HP Lovecraft. Follow me on Twitter. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. All right. So, like I said, today is... I'm kind of letting you guys control the show a little bit today, although I am going to we're going to pop into top articles on Twitter, see what's happened over there. Because I don't have anything prepared today. This is one of those rare days where I don't have a list of articles, even though I use my aggregators over here, open over there, and I haven't even scrolled through it yet today. Good morning, Selecta Boy.
Yeah, boy.
Also, Rod Line, Anna Lynn, nice to see you. All right. So I'm going to pop over this little section of Twitter that I discovered that's new. It's a new section on Twitter. It's called Top Articles. Now, you get a choice of top articles from people you follow, and you get a choice of top articles people they follow. So that's funny. So I don't know. Now, this is interesting. And I haven't seen this, so let's check this one out. Apparently, what about the train derailments? Okay, I'm gonna answer that. Let's talk about that. So, since this trail derailment in Ohio, there have been a few other trail derailments, right? But as I'm looking into this, and someone made a pretty good point the other day, and I think I might even retweeted it. Let me see. Check my feed here. This is a point made by Carpe Dongtum. Okay. Good morning, Jaeger Pony, my favorite Canadian, by the way. Did I already say that? I don't know. And Carpe Dongtum, the meme lord that's finally back on Twitter, made this statement. It made me think kind of pretty hard about this whole thing with the train derailment in Ohio, which just happened to be a big disaster because of what the train was carrying and which cars were damaged. Okay, that's the problem. But then I looked this statement by Carpe Dongtum that was actually rather poignant. Breaking. Something that happens every day, but I just started paying attention to yesterday, happened again. It's probably a vast conspiracy because I suddenly see it everywhere now that I am paying attention to it. And that was kind of apropos when I started talking about the trail derailments. I didn't know, for example, until a couple days ago, that there's an average of like 2 to 3 train derailments a day in the United States. I had no idea. Or it's like train accidents. There's like 8,000 some a year. Now that doesn't include derailments, but there's like 8,000, like either the car or something on the tracks, like an animal or whatever. There's 8,000 a year. And you just don't ever hear about them unless there's a big derailment where there's a big nasty spill like there is the one in Ohio. But we're averaging, and Anna Lynn, you're absolutely right. 1,000 derailments is not acceptable. But it's not new either. It amazes me that we don't hear about these more often. Unless it's in your town, you tend to not hear about them. Now, not all of them were like, super cleanup, nasty, toxic spill, events, but it's still weird. It's still weird. And so now everyone's seeing every train derailment going, oh, look at this one, look at that one. And it's funny because, the other day when I told you about how Pete Buttigieg was blaming Trump for the trail derailment because Trump withdrew a proposal, not something he didn't repeal a law. He withdrew a proposal about electric brakes. The electric brakes were not part of the system yet. That they were not required, and they were going to propose this. That the requirement of these electric brake systems, they found that that they figured that the implementation probably wouldn't make a whole lot of difference. But Pete Buttigieg claimed that because of a law that was passed in 2015, his hands were tied after Trump in 2018 withdrew a proposal for electric brakes. And it's like, wait a minute. So you're saying a law in 2015 ties your hands on what you could have done at the Department of Transportation, which you run, about train safety. A law from 2015. 2015? That was I'm trying to remember if it was, then you said a law? Wait a minute. A law means it went through Congress and it was signed by a president. Now, who was the president in 2015? Barack Obama. So anyway, I just thought that was hilarious that he's blaming Trump because he was hamstringed by a law from 2015 because Trump withdrew a proposal, not even a law, a proposal in 2018. He withdrew a proposal, he didn't take away a law. So anyway, and then how I'm related to this is, wait a minute. There are average 3 train derailments a day in the United States? Are you serious? 3 a day? There's over 1,000 every year? How do we not know about this? Well, maybe because not all of them are catastrophic events like the one in Ohio. But we're seeing now that this one happened, everyone is, freaking out over every single one. Now, granted, there was like the one in Arizona. That was an accident. That was a truck on the track, right? That a train collided with. Now there's another one. I think it's in Pennsylvania. I know I just heard about another one, but now you're going to hear about them every day because of this one spill in Ohio. And here's the thing: I'm curious: are they going to say that? Why would they someone put electric brakes on something as heavy as a train? Air brakes are superior to hydraulic or electric on massive objects. Well, I think, I don't know if they're like electric brakes that, I'm sure the brakes themselves are still hydraulic. I think they're electronically, I can't remember what it was. I don't know. Anyway, some kind of electric brake that, activates a hydraulic brake or something like that. I don't know what it means. I have no idea. Good question, Avocado Diablo. That's a good question. But I just wondered, is this something that they're going to be touting and saying, oh, our infrastructure bill is going to take care of all this? Yes, then Joe Biden saves the day. I don't know. It's just weird that now that we've seen the one, now we're hearing about them all the time when they are actually a common occurrence and probably shouldn't be a common occurrence. Electric brake reminds me of Beat Street. That's funny. That's hilarious. Hello, Jimmy Das Hotep's in the house. Good to see you. So anyway, it's just wild that they're all of a sudden. Anyway, so now we're hearing about all these things that are happening that. Probably more common occurrences. And now it makes me wonder too, though. So what about all these food processing plants that have been catching on fire that we're hearing about all the time? Now I'm wondering, okay, is that also something that's a common occurrence that we weren't hearing about them before, but now that we notice them, we're noticing them every single time. Higgs in the house. What's up from his home base in Florida? Nice to see you. I don't know, man. I don't know. There's millions of miles of tracks in this country. Incidents are not unusual. Check out rail fan channels to learn more about them. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know there were such things as rail fan channels. Is there a rail fan channel on YouTube? Well, let's look that up. I've never heard of rail fans. Let's see. I've heard of OnlyFans, but I have never ventured over there. Okay, rail fans. Oh, there are rail fan live. Oh my gosh, they hit rail fans, and there's just all kinds of. Let's see, Let's just do rail fans. Let's try this way. Oh no, this is like DI Freighter Roger, except for trains. Okay. Here's Rail Fans Canada. Okay, there's just literally all these railroad channels. I have never heard of this before. Oh my gosh. Interesting. 11 types of rail fans. Let's look at this. Hang on a second. Okay, hang on. So this is someone on YouTube, the Central Texas Rail Fan. Let's put it on the screen here. All right, so this is an example of a railfan channel. I've never even heard this. This is only 2 minutes. We can watch this. 11 types of railfans. Disclaimer, this video is not meant to offend anyone. It's meant for entertainment only. So these, you know, I could do this. I have a camera. Oh, that's kind of loud. Let's turn that down. Oh, wait, the crossing fan. So there's a rail crossing fan. Someone who likes rail crossings. Interesting. The station platformer. So this is someone on a passenger train platform.
No tripods on the platform, please.
Okay, wait a minute. The ATCS watcher. What the hell is the ATCS watcher? I've never heard of that. The ACTS, the something system watcher. Anyone know what ACT? The term is rail fanning. I had never heard of this before. Okay, cool. Oh, you know what? I don't want the music because then I get in trouble with music. Let me just get past the ATs. Okay. These must be people who watch all the switches. Okay, and then there's the stay in car.
Okay. Stop. Okay. Can you stay here, please? I'm trying to get this video.
I don't know what that.
Oh, come on. Don't move. Okay, that should do. Okay, you can go now. Okay, let's go.
Oh, I see. So this is someone who's in their car, but they're doing the rail fan thing from inside their car. I got it. Advanced train control system. Thank you, Avocados Diablo. I'm assuming that means knowing where the switches are and whatnot. Okay, cool. Someone said Happy Friday. Oh, that's Happy Friday to Hig. Okay, the signal checker. Someone is just checking the signals. Wait, seriously? Are there there's channels dedicated to this kind of stuff? I suppose there's channels dedicated to everything though. That's interesting. Okay, the camera angle perfectionist. Well, this is not a perfectionist because they're having a little trouble with their tripod or something. This looks like this is a time lapse thing. The in a rush. What does the in a rush mean?
Okay, it doesn't activate that one at that time.
Oh, they didn't get out in time. They're running a rush because they're not making it to the train fast enough. There's no train coming. There's not even a signal going. Okay, but they're running. Oh, they hear a train horn though. I get it. Okay, interesting. The creative shot. Oh, yeah, I don't want to be right there. Wait a minute. I don't want to be right there. Why aren't you in the way? Okay, that's creative, all right. Get run over by the train. Snow and tree videos are awesome. Really? I'm gonna have to check this out now. Now I'm fascinated by this. Boy, these are really loud. Is it just me? Are these really loud? Okay, this is the dedicated. Oh, I get it. So when they say dedicated, that's someone who just sits there and waits. And they're probably watching the whole train go by. The sprinter, because this one's running because they want to get there faster because they want to make sure they get a good shot of the train. It's not working. Here they go. I didn't need yakety sax playing in the background. That's probably going to get me something too. Here, let's take care of yakety sax. Okay, they had to run so they could get there in time for what? Well, they got nothing. And the final item on today's list is the foamer. What's a foamer? Wait, let's hear what it says. Let's hear the video, audio, whatever.
It's a heritage unit. I've been waiting for this for years. Yeah. Oh my god. Oh yes, it's a mid DPU. Yes.
Okay, I don't know if the term is foaming. It sounds like a little too much excitement there, but interesting. You know, I have video. We were in a state park in Colorado when we moved my son to Colorado, and I got a really good shot of a train while we were in the state park, going because there's a train going on the edge of the state park or whatever. I wonder if I could be called a rail fan. Anyway, that's interesting. All right. Is that too much information? This is not the normal show today, if you haven't noticed. I'm going to leave that video up. This is from Central Texas Rail Fan. Today I've made a different kind of video. There are 11 types of rail fan. This person has 22,000 subscribers too, just being a rail fan. That's wild. Or not Yakety Sax. What's the name of that? No, that is called Yakety Sax. That's the name of the song, the Betty Hill theme. I'm pretty sure. Here, hang on a second. Let's look that up. Yakety Sax. It's not Yakety Yak, but Yakety Sax is the Betty Hill theme, I think. Boots Ranfall, Yakety Sax. Here it is. See, that's Yakety. That's the name of the song, Yakety Sax. That is the Benny Hill theme. It's called Yakety Sax. All right, I'll leave that in the look. I say everything that I do on this show is going to be in the. Here's the picture of the guy playing Yakety Sax. His name's Boots Randolph, playing Yakety Sax somewhere. It's in another language that I don't speak. So, but that is someone playing Yakety Sax. Look. You learn things on this show that you may not have known before. If you didn't know the Betty Hill theme, the name of the song is Yakety Sax, well, now you know. If you don't know, now you know. Nigga. Oh my gosh. Don't look up Rail Fan on Pornhub. Well, we're not going to be on Pornhub today. Thank you, Soundable Nation. I really, really don't want to know. I just don't. I'm not prepared for that, and we're not doing it. All right, let's see. What else can I talk about that's random? Let's talk about top articles today. Hey, we have a sponsor for this show, finally. Lady Boo and I are going to San Diego next month, and she was off work for 5 weeks. So any donations help. I appreciate it. This is from Dr. Funkenstein, so I need definitely some good funk for Dr. Funkenstein. That'll work. Thank you, Dr. Funkenstein, for sponsoring the show. You are the new Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day. Dr. Funkenstein says, dropping a small bullet in the tip jar, says, I am off to the doctor. One of my 93 funk glands is swollen and about to burst, so I have to get a funkectomy. So I will be only 95% as funk. Any reminder that funk shots and funk boosters are mandatory on Funky Friday. Trail stop stream tomorrow. This question mark. Hey, Dr. Funkenstein, believe it or not, we will be doing a trail stop stream tomorrow. It's the first time in about 2 months, and we're looking forward. Lady Boomer and I, aka Left Shoulder, will be doing a trail stop stream tomorrow morning. Time to be announced on Twitter and Rumble, or not Twitter and whatever the other thing is, locals. That trail stop stream will be exclusive though to YouTube. So eventually we're gonna move the trail stop streams to locals, but we'll see. So look forward to that, ladies and gentlemen. Stop the music. All right, thank you, Dr. Funkenstein, for sponsoring the show, aka Tyre Alexander. We love him. We know him, Tyre Alexander. Okay, here's an interesting story. You know those balloons that were being shot down by the United States Air Force? Well, there's a little bit of concern by a hobby club. They think that maybe one of their hobby balloons was shot down by the Air Force. Hobby Club's missing balloon feared shot down by USAF. A small globe-trotting balloon declared missing in action by an Illinois-based hobbyist club on February 15th has emerged as a candidate to explain one of the 3 mystery objects shot down by 4 heat-seeking missiles launched by the United States Air Force on February 10th. The club, the Northern Illinois Bottle Cap Balloon Brigade, the NIBBB, is not pointing fingers yet, but the circumstantial evidence is at least intriguing. The club's silver-coated party-style Pico balloon reported its last position on February 10th at 38,910 feet off the west coast of Alaska. And a popular forecasting tool, the high-split model provided by the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, also known as the NOAA, projected the cylindrically shaped object would be floating high over the central part of the Yukon Territory on February 11th. That is the same day Lockheed Martin F-22 shot down an unidentified object of similar description and altitude in the same general area. So Could it be that they shot down a hobby club's balloon? I don't know. Let's see. I tried contacting our military and the FBI and just got the runaround to try to enlighten them on what a lot of these things probably are. And they're going to look not too intelligent to be shooting them down, says Ron Meadows, the founders of the Scientific Balloon Solutions, a Silicon Valley company that makes purpose-built pico balloons for hobbyists, educators, and scientists. The description of all three identified objects shut down on February 10th through 12th match the shapes, altitudes, and payloads of the small pico balloons, which can usually be purchased for about between $12 to $180 each, depending on the type. I'm guessing they were pico balloons, said Tom Medlin, a retired I can't even keep reading this. Could it be that NORAD shot down some hobby balloonist balloons? $400,000 to shoot down a $12 balloon. Real value for the money, yeah! Oh my gosh. Now let's see. Launching high-altitude circumnavigational pico balloons has emerged only within the past decade. Meadows and his son Lee discovered it was possible to calculate the amount of helium gas necessary to make a common latex balloon neutrally buoyant at altitudes above 43,000 feet. The balloons carry an 11-gram tracker on a tether along with HF and VHF and UHF antennas to update their positions to ham radio receivers around the world. At any given moment, several dozen such balloons are aloft, with some circling the globe several times before they malfunction and fail for other reasons. The launch teams seldom recover their balloons. So they shot down a hobby balloon? It's possible. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. That's hilarious. All right. Oh my, Carnivore Dad. I believe that would be Jimmy Das Hotep, if I'm not mistaken. Dropped a 50 in the tip jar. Thank you, sir. You are the new Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day. Dropping a 50 on the tip jar. Go to San Diego and have a couple drinks on me. Very sad you won't be at HotepCon. Oh my gosh, I am missing HotepCon this year. They announced the date of HotepCon. It's going to be the same weekend, or the same week that Lady Boomer and I are going to Hawaii for her 60th birthday. And we're doing San Diego for our 30th. It's kind of a combination. We're doing San Diego and Hawaii for the combination of our 30th anniversary and her 60th birthday. Wow, thank you very much. That's very, very generous of you, and I appreciate it very much. So, and did I fix that yet? Yes, I did. So there we go. All right. So yeah, how about that? A hobby club balloon. It's a national security breach with a hobby club balloon. There you go. All right. Still the notifications are popping in. Oh, they are still doing it. So, let's see what else we got in the top articles today. Oh, John Fetterman is in the hospital. A lot of people are tweeting this article out. Again, I have, I don't have any ill wishes towards John Fetterman. I wish he wouldn't have gotten elected. I wish he wouldn't have even ran. But that's, I think that was kind of some abuse and whatever by his constituents and his wife. To even the fact that he even ran is kind of crazy to me. But he did, and now he has checked himself in the hospital. Let me get a archive version of this, please. Just give me a second. Why isn't this not? Oh, there we go. John Fetterman has checked himself into a hospital for depression, clinical depression. A spokesman for the first-term senator for Pennsylvania, who had a near-fatal stroke last year, said his depression had grown severe in recent weeks as he has worked to adjust his life to the Senate. Let's see. He was hospitalized last week after feeling lightheaded, checked himself in the Walter Reed National Military Medical Center on Wednesday night to receive treatment for clinical depression. The decision to seek psychiatric help underscored the profound challenges, both physical and emotional, that Mr. Fetterman has been dealing with since entering the Senate last month after a life-threatening stroke last year, a transition that he has been made vastly more difficult by the strains of his recovery. Well, one, because he can't understand what people are saying. He has to use that device that translates everything that he hears into text, because he cannot process people speaking. And that's, that can't make it any easier. I'm still kind of dumbfounded that he's in the Senate, that he continued to run. I think Democrats made it more important that they have control of the Senate than this guy's life, in my opinion. And like I said, I don't wish any ill will to him. I disagree with him vehemently on public policy and certain things, but I hope he recovers. He's still a fellow human being. They continued, while John has experienced depression on and off, or off and on throughout his life, it only became severe in recent weeks. Adam Gentleson, his chief of staff, said in a statement, he said that Dr. Brian P. Monahan, the attending physician of Congress, had evaluated Mr. Fetterman on Monday and recommended he be admitted to Walter Reed for treatment for clinical depression. John agreed, and he's receiving treatment on a voluntary basis, Mr. Gentleson said. His decision to do so could place Mr. Fetterman, who is dogged by questions about his health and fitness to serve in the Senate throughout his campaign, at the center of a national conversation about mental health struggles that has become more public and urgent since the pandemic began. That is not a role he naturally would have sought. Really? Amazing, huh? After what he's been through in the past year, there's probably no one who wanted to talk about his own health issues less than John, his wife Giselle Barreto Fetterman said in an email to supporters. It's not easy for anyone to be open about mental health challenges, but I am proud of him for asking for help and taking the steps to get the care he needs. Well, you probably should have thought of that 5 months ago, okay, when you realized that he couldn't process people talking to him and can't get his words out either. Can't get his thoughts out. But, and I imagine going into the United States Senate and having to understand the things that are in front of you is probably a key skill, key asset to being in the United States Senate. So, like I said, I don't wish ill will on Mr. Fetterman. I hope, he was able to get his help he needs or whatever, but I just think it's wild that he's that he's even in the Senate and that they continued him to run. All right, another one here. We've got, now I already did, this is the same article, I think. Is this the same article from NBC? Yes, it is. I did this one on natural immunity already. That's being shared quite a bit on Twitter. Now, here's one that is actually, I'm dumbfounded, and I don't know if this is the complete story here, but the Biden administration turns down Ohio's request for disaster assistance after toxic derailment. Really? After they've displaced so many people out of their homes and lots of animals are dying and stuff, they're not gonna. Well, I'm curious if this is the full story. FEMA continues to tell Governor DeWine that Ohio is not eligible for assistance, the governor's office said. The Biden administration turned down a request for federal disaster assistance from Ohio Governor Mike DeWine in the aftermath of the train derailment in the state earlier this month that led to large release of toxic chemicals. The Federal Emergency Management Agency told Ohio state government that it was not eligible for disaster assistance to help the community recover from the toxic spill. Dan Tierney, a spokesman for DeWine told Fox News Digital on Thursday. Tierney explained that FEMA believed the incident didn't qualify as a traditional disaster, such as tornado or hurricane, for which it usually provides assistance. Doesn't FEMA go in and help in like fire? Like if there's a big fire, like in California, don't they go in and help in those cases? I'm not sure. I blame Swedish penis. What are you talking about? What? Read an article that claimed average penis size is getting bigger and that it's a bad thing. Oh my God. Do you have that article somewhere? Oh, anyway, the DeWine administration has been in daily contact with FEMA to discuss the need for federal support. However, FEMA continues to tell Governor DeWine that Ohio is not eligible for assistance at this time. DeWine's office said in a statement earlier today, Governor DeWine will continue working with FEMA to determine what assistance can be provided. FEMA said that its team is in constant communication with Devine's office, but didn't comment on the request for federal relief. So I'm not sure why. Is it because they believe the railroad should be paying for all the assistance or whatever? I don't know. You would think the Federal Emergency Management Agency on a federal rail line. Now, granted, there's a private rail carrier, but the railroad lines are federal jurisdiction, I think. They're not state. Spill the wine, take that pearl. Thank you, Avocado Diablo, for throwing in a musical interlude. I couldn't. God. Anyway, let's see. Tierney did note that the governor was able to secure some health assistance from the Department of Health and Human Services that will go toward helping local residents with any medical care costs that stemmed from the incident. He added that Norfolk Southern Railroad, operator of the derailed train, has been providing financial assistance to the community, but that the DeWine administration was prepared to hold the company's feet to the fire to ensure it continues to support the community. The Ohio Attorney General's office was prepared to intervene if Norfolk Southern Railroad let up on its relief efforts. So they're doing what they can to get assistance. I'm surprised, though, that if they evacuated basically an entire town that it went through, that there would be some kind of FEMA assistance, but I don't know what. I don't know how that works. If you're a red state, you're a red state, so F off. That's from the Biden administration. Well, yeah, I'm surprised. Wait a minute. How many times has California requested to receive funding because of horrific forest fires that were set by an arsonist? And then a season later, flooding took down the homes because of the burned out areas from those arson fires. And those areas I'm reading a comment on this particular article, where those areas were also receiving funding. And the answer is Ohio voted for Trump by Biden by over 8 percentage points. So California has been reliably voting for Democrat presidents since 1984, but I'm sure that has nothing to do with it. Yeah, I don't know if it's that simple, but it doesn't look good for the Biden administration, now does it? I'm just saying. All right, let's see what else is out here. We'll do one more. Oh, here we go again. This really annoys me. This is in the Wall Street Journal. Let me make sure I can. I want to make sure I can read the article because theirs are usually archived, or they need to be archived to be able to read them. Let me see if I get this. Is this article already available? Just a second here. Boy, this is slow today. Good God. This is archived 5 hours ago. So, you remember how I say, whenever you hear the word equity, run? Well, this is a good example of how the concept of equity makes everybody dumber, okay? In the Wall Street Journal. To increase equity, run, school districts eliminate honors classes. Supporters say uniform classes create rigor for all students, but critics say it hurts fast learners. Now, I have some experience with this because my daughter was very, very bright as a young child. And because both my kids, we had them in a very successful Montessori school, and our kids learned a lot of stuff before they ever went to public school. And both of them could read. In fact, my daughter especially, she could read at like a third grade level when she was in kindergarten. And probably even beyond that. Let's put it this way. We were reading Harry Potter books when she was like 6 years old. And at some point around kindergarten, we had her do the reading out loud while we would all sit because we basically went through several books of the series just as story time that night. We'd read a chapter or so and we'd go through the Harry Potter books, right? Well, eventually my daughter was the one doing the reading, even though her and my son were still young chillins, right? And when she was in third grade, she kind of, the teacher one day said something about, well, she doesn't pay attention very well. She doesn't do that, this, do that. And we're like, well, could it be that she's just bored because she already knows everything that you're teaching her? She already knows. Isn't there some way you could make it more interesting for her? Can you give her some side assignments or something? The teacher's like, no, blah, 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 blah. I don't have time for this. And then, yeah. And so we changed, and that was at the point where we said, well, it's time to change schools anyway. And we ended up moving to another school, and they kept her challenge, kept both their kids challenged. But this idea that you would improve education by eliminating honors classes for kids who maybe are a little more advanced, aren't you dumbing down society by doing that? Don't you want I want kids to get through school and they actually learn to read, which in some places that's not happening. Remember, in Baltimore, not one single kid in the entire school district were at the grade level math, could pass a grade level math test. Okay. So so you want to be able to have classes for those kids, but do you want kids who are just bored to tears because everyone's learning the same shit? You want the best kids to get better because that's where your breakthrough scientists come through. You let them, you challenge them and keep them interested in learning rather than just keeping them bored. But here we go. A group of parents stepped to the lectern Tuesday night at a school board meeting in this middle-class Los Angeles area city to push back against a racial equity initiative. Now, it's interesting that they would call this a racial equity initiative. Doesn't that imply that the people who needed the equity are too dumb to be in honors classes? Are you saying that there are no... Anyway, you know what I'm saying, right? The high school, they argued, should reinstate honors English classes that were eliminated because they didn't enroll enough Black and Latino students. Did they enroll any Black and Latino students? I mean, why would you take that away? Anyway, the district earlier this school year replaced the honors classes at Culver City High School with uniform courses that officials say will ensure students of all races receive equal, rigorous education. The parents disagreed. We really feel equity means offering opportunities to students of diverse backgrounds, not taking away opportunities for advanced education and study, Joanna Shaman, a Culver City parent who helped spearhead the effort, said in the run-up to the meeting. I would be livid if this would have happened when my kids were in school. I'm sorry. Why not have more challenging classes for kids who are advanced? And first of all, you have a class, if you decide to go the equity route, right? Oh, we're going to take away this advanced class. Well, what happens in that class? The kids who are advanced dominate the class. It doesn't help the kids who are not there. But if you take those advanced kids out, allow them to accelerate at whatever level they can, then all the other kids are on the same playing field and maybe learn from each other better. I don't think they learn by having all the advanced kids dominating the class. That's at least my opinion. So anyway, the pushback in Culver City mirrors resistance that's taken place in Wisconsin, Rhode Island, and elsewhere in California over the last year in response to schools stripping away the honors designation on some high school classes. The school districts doing away with honors classes argues students who don't take those classes from a young age start to see themselves in a different tier. Well, maybe they are in a different tier. Is there something wrong with being in a different tier? Is that what you're saying? Are you shaming them for being in a different tier? I don't care what you call it. I don't care if you call it advanced. I don't call it accelerated. I don't care what you call it. Do you think those kids who aren't in the honors classes realize they probably shouldn't be in the honors classes? It's not, you're the one creating the stigma, not the kids. And come to think they aren't capable of enrolling in advanced placement classes that help with college admissions. Well, should everybody go to college? No. Black and Latino students are underrepresented in AP enrollment in a majority of states. Okay, and underrepresented how? You mean by percentage? Well, what are you doing to fix that then? That's your problem. It's not that the advanced kids are representative correctly, it's because you guys aren't teaching the Black and Latinos kids, maybe. How about that? It has nothing to do with whether or not there's honors classes. Maybe that's your fault as teachers, as a school system. I don't know. But it doesn't matter. You know, look. Never mind. According to the education, a nonprofit that studies equity in education. Well, I don't want equity in education. I want people at levels where they can succeed the best they can and advance the best they can. I don't care about equity. People aren't equitable. People have different skills and abilities and capacities. There's no such thing as equity. Some people are better at some shit. Do you complain about equity in sports, which are often dominated by people of other races? They're not represented. What did they say here? What was the word they used? Where people at certain races are underrepresented in certain sports. Do you care about equity then? Or do you allow the best of the best to rise to the top in those things? Believe me, I don't want equity in engineering because if some people are building bridges, I want the best people who design bridges to build them. I don't want equity in architecture, okay? If you're designing a building, I don't want equity. I want the best people who are able to think of things that will work doing the job so that they actually work, okay? Who cares about equity? Okay, if you want to get more kids interested to have more representation of certain minorities, maybe you should figure out kids who are able to do that and encourage them to try new things. That's how you increase representation. You become better teachers and get more kids interested and excelling. So stupid. Anyway, this is a whole article about how parents are complaining because they are cutting programs for advanced or accelerated students. No, you allow the accelerated students to get better and better and better, and you let the other kids be successful at the level they're at so they also get better. Do you think, you laugh, they said, what is it? It discourages kids who aren't in the honors classes from doing this and that? Really? Do you think if they're in a class and there's 5 kids who are know-it-alls and absolutely are completely excel in everything that's handed to them, do you think that also might make a kid feel bad in the same class? I don't want to be in a class with some kid who's, basically can figure out the formula without the teacher teaching how to figure it out. Because I wouldn't be able to do that. So I don't want that kid. I want the teacher to be able to teach us instead of some know-it-all kid already being able to do it and me feeling like an idiot. It's amazing. It's amazing that they do this shit. All right. Well, that's an interesting show today because I didn't realize I'm already over time. Those articles are in the links, and also both the rail fan video is going to be in the links today. Also, the Yakety Sax boot Randolph's going to be in the links. So after the end of the show, during the outro today, I will put all these things in the description in a one-tab link. In the second paragraph, you click the link. Everything will be on one page that we did today, which was not a whole lot, but it was still interesting. And that's it for today, guys. Okay, so I'm normally here Monday through Friday, 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. As I said, next week is going to be iffy on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. We may just it's possible that I will do shows Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, but we're going to be in San Diego, and it's going to be really early in the morning. There'll be short shows, too. We might just do some informal shit, just chat in the chat and whatnot. But definitely doing still Monday and Tuesday. And we are doing a trail stop stream tomorrow, Lady Boomer and I, so look forward to that. It will be on YouTube only. And if you have anything else, just let me know. You can always talk to me via locals, via Twitter. My DMs are open. If you have any suggestions for the show, anything you want me to cover in the next week, or if you catch something over the weekend, feel free to email pdogknight@gmail.com, or direct message me on Twitter, or you can send me messages on Locals and or on, well, Discord. Don't send me messages on Discord. I'm not very good at getting messages, although I did finally figure out how to get them. So that's a new thing that I finally learned on Discord. But don't forget, we do have a Discord server for the channel where people post a lot of different news, a lot of different memes, and links to other videos, and I highly encourage you to check that shit out too. So anyway, that's it for today. I gotta go. Thanks to our donors today, Dr. Funkenstein's Corpse, aka Tyre Alexander, and Carnivore Dad, aka Jimmy Das Hotep. Jimmy Das Hotep, you are the Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day. Thanks everybody. I gotta go. My name is P Dawg Knight, and I am out of here. Bye bye. Have a great weekend. Hey, this is P Dawg Knight, and thank you for watching today on the P Dawg Knight channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all the supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through Streamlabs, YouTube, Venmo, and Cash App, which are all linked in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm P Dawg Knight, and I'm out of here.